choices for Michigan families you can think about in your discussions. And finally, I would encourage us to think about helping people be happy. And I wanted to close, since I started with Charles Dickens, I think I got to close with Charles Dickens. And it's really, really simple, right? If your annual income is 20 pounds and your annual expenses are 19 pounds, the result is happiness. If the annual income is 20 pounds and your expenses are 21 pounds, the result is misery. So thank you very much, and I'll take questions. Okay, well, I'll be around, yes.
Do you know of other states and what they're doing to help families that you think are very positive in terms of addressing this kind of issues that you presented?
There are a lot of individual programs out there that are very, very forward-looking and positive. I'm thinking about one right now in the San Francisco area. It's called EARN, E-A-R-N, and I know those things stand for something, but I can't. Kristen, do you remember what that? No, okay. And what they do is they have a money coaching. They match people up with money coaches, and they have become so successful in graduating sort of classes of people through this program that now their graduates are asking for sort of next level. You know, okay, I've saved, I've invested, I've got my business started, or I've started, I've got my own home now, or I've gone through higher education and I've now got my associate's degree or my bachelor's degree, and I want to take the next step. I want to learn more about investing and doing more entrepreneurial kinds of activities. And so there are some programs, but they're not, I don't think they're necessarily driven at the state level. I think it's much more of a community-driven program. Yes?
On the same line, in terms of driving program development, can you talk about the Iowa experience and how they were successful in getting the financial literacy curriculum built in?
I confess that I don't know all the lobbying that went on behind that. I do know the Iowa Jumpstart Coalition is very, very strong. And there is a Michigan Jumpstart, right? Yes. Yes, okay. And I just don't know how effective they have been. The other thing actually has a lot to do with how, you know, the boards of education are structured within the state. You know, it's, in many cases, it is a county level or even a city or a locality level decision as to what gets taught in the curriculum. So I'm real sensitive to this because I know at the federal level that we can't drive financial literacy down from the top. It really has to come up from the bottom. So creating a demand for that is really important. But I got to tell you that the Iowans, it's a really interesting model to look at. So I would get onto the Iowa State Department of Education website and look at what their 21st century skills curriculum is, because it's very, very interesting. Yes.
I do think several of us work for MSU Extension, and one of our challenges is when we're providing community education is having people participating at the community level. We find that a lot of families would rather talk about a lot of other topics than money, and I don't know if people are fearful of sharing, you know, they have to share personal information. I don't know if there's other experiences you've had that help communities embrace financial education, maybe because of the situation we're in. Maybe it's people would be more open to it today, but any advice or thoughts that you have about trying to encourage more community participation?
Well, I think, you know, you have to working with adult learners is very, very different than working with the school systems. I mean, I think school systems you can sort of punch it through, but when you're talking about adult learners, if you were to have a course on so you have to have something that is really relevant and timely, and you know, I'm not going to go to a home buyer class because I am a homeowner. I'm not planning on refinancing. I'm not planning on buying a new home. But if I were thinking about that, I might go to a home buyer class. I think we actually have a really neat opportunity right now with a number of new federal consumer protections coming out to do an update class. Things you need to know about the new federal laws on overdrafts and credit cards, okay? And that doesn't stigmatize anybody to say, you know, oh, you're overdrawing your bank account, or, oh, you're not using your credit card right. It is, hey, you know, it's a new environment out there, and, you know, you're going to have to opt in to overdraft, otherwise the bank is not going to cover your transaction. And you're going to find yourself at that grocery store with your kid in the cart, swiping your debit card, and it's going to get rejected. And how do you feel about that? Do you have another way of paying? Or, gee, how many of you have gotten notices from your credit card companies that your interest rate is going up? And do you know if you don't respond to those, it means that you accept those new terms and conditions. And so if you don't want those new terms and conditions, you got to respond to your credit card company immediately and stop using the card. So we can be a conduit for really, really good up-to-date information that then allows us to teach some of these peripheral stuff around it. So, I mean, that's probably the hook I would use in the short run. Thank you.
This is a historic seminar. We have never had speakers who are on time and to the point, giving information in a timely fashion, and so we're ahead of schedule. I think that we would like to give you a 5-minute break. Grab more food. There's more cookies, lots more lunches. And what we will be doing is Adele here is filming this, so we're going to be posting this on our website. So people who want to see this seminar, the legislators who were not able to come, and they have had the best intentions of being here, can actually go onto our web and see the information. We will be also sending them the PowerPoints so that they will have that information in hand and the references. We got feedback from staffers and legislators that they love our reference section. So that will be going on also. So does anybody have questions? Again, I would like to remind you about this green form, and to please fill that out because that's really important for us for feedback. Let's take a 5-minute break and then we're going to do some roundtables. Then will you be available? Okay, so we will have 3 roundtables around our 3 speakers. Dr. Roberts, who's our first speaker, and Dr. Cook, who's our second speaker, and Dr. Hogarth. So we'll have 3 roundtables. I think we'll get 1 here, another 1 here, and a 3rd here. So I guess we could say Dr. Roberts and Dr. Cook and Dr. Hogarth back here. So if you have questions, and we can further our discussions at that time through the roundtable. But meanwhile, please still get more food and join us for the roundtables. Thank you.